We'll start today's session. Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Preshtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swamin Nitinamine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So today is auspicious day of Ekadashi. We are going to hear important message from Srimad Bhagavatam.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
So, sometimes to make us understand what is actually received by us is very, very best process among all the processes of spiritual life. The Shukadeva Goswami has to explain so many things. From last few classes, we discussed about Ashtanga Yoga, the Lord in the heart, how the yogi has to do meditation and finally uplifts his consciousness. And otherwise, the yogi has to do the meditation on the Virat Rupa of the Lord, and the yogi goes to different planets. After going through different planets, finally goes to Krishna Loka. Today is the conclusion of this chapter. The conclusion of all this discussion. Different yogis, and finally, the yogi who is very, very clever and intelligent, who can progress very fast. What is the best process? That is today on the verse number 33 to 37. We are ending this chapter in today's session. I'll share my screen for you to follow. Okay, let us start with the verse. Please repeat after me. You can unmute yourself. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
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 Narayanam Namaskritya
Narayanam Namaskritya
Naram Chaiva Narottamam
Naram Chaiva Narottamam
Devim Saraswatim Vyasam
Devim Saraswatim Vyasam
Tato Jayamudirayet
Tato Jayamudiraye
Nashtaprayeshu Abhadreshu
Nashtaprayeshu Abhadreshu
Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya
Nityam Bhagavata
Bhagavata
Sevaya
Sevaya
Bhagavati Uttama Shloke
Bhagavate
Bhagavate Uttama
Uttamaśloke
Shloke
Bhaktir Bhavati Naishtiki.
Bhakti Naishtiki.
Please repeat the shloka. Na hyato nyaha. Na hyato nyaha. Shiva Pantha. Na hatonya Shiva Pantha. Vishataha Samsruta Viha. Vishataha Samsruta Viha. Vasudeve Bhagavati. Bhakti Yogo Yato Bhavet. Na Yatonya Shivaha Panta. Vichataha Samsruta Viha. Vasudeve Bhagavati. Bhakti Yogo Yato Bhavet. Please repeat after me. For those who are wandering
For those who are wandering
in the material universe,
in the material universe,
there is no more auspicious means
there is no
no
more
more
auspicious
auspicious
means
means
of deliverance
of
of
deliverance
deliverance
than what is aimed at
than what is
that
in the direct devotional service of Lord Krishna.
in the direct
Lord Krishna.
So all of you please mute. I will explain. So today is very auspicious day to discuss this. That is Bhakti for Krishna. Ekadashi is Krishna's day. Krishna's very special day. Anybody does any seva, any chanting, any devotional activity on this day, Krishna takes it with a lot of love and affection. And it's at Krishna's day. Krishna is, there is every devotional service you do, it gets credited into our account to go back to Krishna. Sometimes we go to temple, we ask for material benefit. Knowingly, unknowingly, we desire a lot of material things. But on the Ekadashi day, you earn a lot to go back to Krishna, end this material suffering. That is why Ekadashi is very special, which bestows the residence in Krishna Loka, Goloka Vrindavana or Vaikuntha. Those who follow Ekadashi, they become residents of Vaikuntha. Permanent resident. Like in this world, somebody wants to become permanent residents of some country. They have to work so hard to become permanent residents, born not in that country and other country. American, if somebody wants to become permanent resident of America, there is so much hard work to be done. So if in the ordinary material world, just across few thousand kilometers in another side of the earth, there is so much difficulty to become permanent resident, then you just imagine how much difficult it could be to become permanent resident of Krishna Loka. But on this day, Ekadashi day, Krishna gives a special offer. Anybody chants my name, anybody follows the Vrata, Ekadashi Vrata, anybody visits Krishna's temple and takes darshan of the Lord, anybody does devotional service to the Lord, anybody takes association of the Lord, anybody hears Srimad Bhagavatam, they all become very dear to Krishna. Krishna is very keen to receive little service offered. and austerity done on Ekadashi. And he considers these souls, these people are very serious people. They want to come back to my world. Krishna considers this on Ekadashi day. That is why simple thumb rule for Ekadashi is that we should reduce our material activity and increase spiritual activity. Prabhupada always spoke very scientifically, logically. He less spoke on how the vrata has to be performed. He more spoke about the spirit behind Ekadashi Vrat. Sometimes in the land India, so much vrat and rules and regulation of the vrat, and people are so concerned what time to break, what time to start, what time which direction to sit, how many times I should eat, I should not eat. So much complications we bother about for doing vrat, but in the details of doing vrat, sometimes people forget why that vrata is been done. So, but Prabhupada was more always emphasizing we should all know why the Ekadashi Vrata is done. Ekadashi Vrata is done to minimize the basic principle of the Ekadashi Vrata is that to reduce the bodily demands, increase the spiritual demand. Reduce eating, eat how much ever you need based on your situation, circumstances, your health, your travel, so various circumstances. But don't eat grain. Non-grain prasadam, you eat how much is needed to maintain the body and keep the enthusiasm, energy all the day to perform devotional service. No need to do a fasting where you fast and sleep and not able to get up. No use of such fasting, because ultimately Ekadashi day we are supposed to render service and chant the holy name of Krishna. Better you eat some prasadam and do some seva. There is no use of doing nirjal and lying down on the bed. So like this, Prabhupada gave a lot of practical tips to following the Ekadashi Vrata. So on this auspicious day, by Krishna's will, by our great fortune, today we are discussing most important topic from the Srimad Bhagavatam. Now what happened is the Shukadeva Goswami he told till now that to go back to Krishna is the ultimate goal. Everybody should remember the Lord. Because Parikshit asked this question, what should a dying man do? Then he explained, the dying man should uplift his consciousness. He should focus on Krishna. Ultimately, he should get liberated from this world. The first he explained two kinds of yogis. One kind of yogi who does the meditation from different chakras in the body. And with the pranayama, he uplifts his consciousness and goes back to Krishna. Another kind of yogi who meditates on the Virat Rupa of the Lord, Vishwarupa of the Lord, and goes to the different higher planets. And finally, he goes to Brahmaloka. From the Brahmaloka, he goes to beyond the universe and goes to the spiritual world. Now he is coming to the point. For those who are wandering in the material universe, there is no more auspicious means of deliverance than what is aimed at in the direct devotional service of Lord Krishna. Now I am telling you something which is direct. It is the best of all the paths. When sometimes the best is given, people may not believe it is best. To explain it is best, sometimes we have to explain the other side also. If you don't choose this, what will happen? Say for instance, I tell somebody, you take this path. If you walk in this path, it is very easy. You walk few meters, you will reach your destination. And that man may not believe what I am saying. Then I explain to him, look, you have another two paths also. You can take this and this road also. But if this road, if you take, you have to walk 10 kilometers. There are mountains and rivers and forests, and you have to go through all those things, and finally you can reach there to your destination. But this is the path also. This path also takes you to your destination. Okay, the another path you can take, but that goes through a dense forest. There are many, many ferocious animals. You have to go through that challenge. Sometimes you will be eaten away, sometimes you will be hunted by some animals. Sometimes some snakes and reptiles will bite you. You have to take that risk, and this path also goes to the same destination. After telling this again, I tell him, look, here is a path. This is just straight path. It's very clear. Few meters you walk, you'll reach your destination. When I give these explanations, then naturally the person who understands and saying, okay, let me not take those two paths, let me take this path. This is so great. Then the value for that path is developed. Without telling the other two paths, the value for the first path which I explained does not go to his intelligence. Only when I explain to other two paths how difficult other two paths are, this first path becomes great fortune path. Same way, in all of our lives, by the mercy of Krishna, by mercy of Prabhupada, we have received the direct devotional service to Lord Krishna. But sometimes we do not have the value for it. We think, oh, this may be inferior. Let me look the yoga and different processes. We get enamored by it. Or I do not know. And I may not take Krishna consciousness and direct devotional service to Krishna seriously. I may be doing little bit, but not very seriously practicing. Now, therefore, this chapter is very instructive for all of us. What we have received as a direct devotional service to Lord Krishna is the best way. There is no more auspicious means of deliverance than what is aimed at in the direct devotional service of Lord Krishna. When is Shukadeva Goswami saying this? After telling what are other paths. Last 2 to 3 classes, you heard about other paths. Now, today we are discussing about devotional service. Okay. So it will be clarified in the next verse. Devotional service or the direct bhakti yoga is the only absolute and auspicious means of deliverance from the grip of material existence. There are many indirect methods for deliverance from the clutches of material existence, but none of them is as easy and auspicious as bhakti yoga. The means of jnana yoga and other allied disciplines are not independent in delivering performer. Such activity help one to reach the stage of bhakti yoga after many, many years. In the Bhagavad Gita, it is said, in the Bhagavad Gita 12.5, Klesha adhika tarastesham avyakta sakta chetasam avyakta hi gatir dukkham dehavabdir avapyate. For those whose minds are attached to unmanifested impersonal feature of the Supreme, advancement is very troublesome. To make progress in that discipline is always difficult for those who are embodied. So clearly, Krishna is explaining in the 12th chapter of Bhagavad Gita to render devotional service. So, same conclusion. After explaining different yoga processes and giving us a lot of knowledge about those things, Shukadeva Goswami is concluding. Let us go to next verse. Prabhupada told about the next verse. Bhagavan Brahma Karsnyena Trir Anviksha Manishaya Tad Adhyavasyat Kutastho Ratir Atman Yato Bhavet. The great personality, Brahma, with a great attention and of the mind, studied the Vedas 3 times. Okay. Now we need not worry whether Vedas giving the same message or not. Vedas are saying something else and ISKCON is saying something else. Is it true? Shukadeva Goswami is explaining. Not ordinary person, great personality Brahma, and with a great attention and concentration of the mind, studied the Vedas 3 times. Brahma studied Veda 3 times. After scrutinizingly examining them, he ascertained that attraction for the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Sri Krishna, is the highest perfection of religion. Getting attracted to Vasudeva Bhagavati, Vasudeva is the highest perfection of religion. The religion, the dharma is meant for giving us perfection. The perfection of dharma is finally to get attracted to Krishna. Who is saying this? Brahma is saying. When is he saying this? After studying the Vedas 3 times scrutinizingly. So this is the conclusion. Brahma has come, Shukadeva Goswami. So Sri Shukadeva Goswami is referring to the highest Vedic authority, Lord Brahma, who is a qualitative incarnation of Godhead. The Vedas were taught to Brahmaji in the beginning of the material creation. The Brahma heard the Vedas from Krishna in the beginning of creation. From the flute of Lord, in the Brahma Samhita, it is explained, when Krishna's flute, the Vedas came, it entered the heart of Brahma. Tene Brahma Hridaye Adi Kavaye Muhyanti Yam Surayah. Brahma Hridaye, the Brahma's heart Vedas came. Although Brahmaji was to hear the Vedic instruction directly from the personality of Godhead, in order to satisfy the inquisitiveness of the prospective students of the Vedas, Brahmaji, just like a scholar, studied the Vedas 3 times, as generally done by all scholars. He studied with a great attention, concentrating on the purpose of the Vedas. After scrutinizingly examining the whole process, he ascertained that becoming a pure, unalloyed devotee of the Supreme Personality of God, Sri Krishna, is the topmost perfection of all religious principles. So the Brahma has come to a conclusion. Sometimes these days there are so many scholars online available. Everybody speaks on the matter of God. Other matters, they get exposed very quickly, so they are very careful. They cannot simply speak something of the material things which is happening and visible to people. They cannot speak on some subject matter which can be easily verified by ordinary people. But when it comes to the subject matter of God, Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam, purpose of life, aim of life, goal of life, life after death, these topics, everybody are scholars. We're full of scholars online giving up their understanding as a truth and explaining. And what have they studied, sir? They have watched some other video, someone's video, some pages they have studied. So we should not take this online content given by different people. He may be a high court judge. But has he studied the Shastra scrutinizingly like Brahmaji has studied 3 times? Then he has the authority to speak on the Vedas, purpose of life, goal of life. Without that, if somebody speaks, we must be very, very careful. In the Srimad Bhagavatam, in the 12th canto, it is said, in the Kali Yuga, anybody speaks very nicely, general mass of people will consider that person is a great scholar. The symptom of Kali Yuga. In other yugas, it is not like that. Just because somebody is able to speak, people wouldn't consider that person as a scholar. They would question him. They would ask him many things. So he will not be able to answer. Then they understand who is the real scholar. Somebody may not be speaking. He's a mauni. Silent he is. But people would understand he is great scholar by his actions. How does he behave? How does he act? How does he live his life? This shows his real scholarliness. A learned man should not only be visible by speaking, by his speech. Learned man's activity should be visible. His learning should be visible by his actions. Acharya, that's called Acharya. He does Achara, then Prachara. He does by action. So that is how the learned person was identified in the age of other ages. When the Kali Yuga came, whoever speaks, there is one Godman in our country. He has studied in big IIT and IIM. He has a huge fan following of youngsters. And that man trekked to drugs and smoking. He was found smoking. And when he was found smoking, the video was leaked. His followers said, that we don't mind, that is his personal life. We don't mind about it, that is personal life. See how foolish followers they are. They're thinking personal life, he can be like that, and we hear what he speaks. So this is Kali Yuga. So now whom you should hear? This is very clear. Whom you should hear? Shukadeva Goswami is not telling himself. He is telling Brahma has done. Lord Brahma, who is qualitative incarnation of Godhead. And Vedas are taught to him. He studied. After he studying, he said that attraction for the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Sri Krishna, is the highest perfection of religion. So wonderful conclusion we are coming into. Next, let's read the next verse. Please repeat after me, all of you unmute. Bhagavan Sarva Bhuteshu
Bhagavan
Sarvabhuteshu
Sarvabhuteshu
Lakshitah Swatmana Harihi
Lakshitah
Lakshitah
Swatmana
Swatmana
Harihi
Hari
Drishyer Buddhi Adhibir Drashta
Drishir
Drishir
Buddhi
Buddhi
Adhibir
Adi
Drashta
Drashta
Lakshaner Anumapakaihi
Lakshitah
Lakshaner
Lakshanayana
Anumapakai
Kai
Bhagavan Sarva Bhuteshu
Bhagavan
Bhagavan
Sarvabhuteshu
Sarvabhuteshu
Lakshitah Swatmana Harihi
Lakshitah
Swatmana
Swatmana
Harihi
Hari
Drishyer Buddhi Adhibir Drashta
Drishir
Drishir
Buddhi
Buddhi
Adhibir
Adi
Drashta
Drashta
Lakshaner Anumapakaihi
Lakshaner
Lakshanayana
Anumapakai
Pakai
Mute yourself. The personality of Godhead, Lord Sri Krishna, is in every living being along with the individual soul. This fact is perceived and hypothesized in our acts of seeing and taking help from the intelligence. So, Shukadeva Goswami said, Lord is seated in our heart. We should perceive this fact. After perceiving this fact, and we take help of the Lord from the intelligence which is given by the Lord, from the Paramatma, to render devotional service to Krishna. So general argument of the common man is that since Lord is not visible to our eyes, how can one either surrender unto him or render transcendental loving service to him? I'm not able to see Krishna. How can I do service to Krishna? This is a common question everybody asks. To such a common man, here is a practical suggestion given by Shukadeva Goswami as how one can perceive the Supreme Lord by reason and perception. Actually, Lord is not perceivable by our present material senses, but one is convinced of the presence of the Lord by the practical service attitude. There is a revelation of Lord's mercy. Such pure devotee of the Lord can perceive the Lord's presence always, everywhere. So, the common man, the practical suggestion is that one should perceive the Lord by the reason and perceptions. The Lord is present everywhere. Lord is present in your heart. So that is sufficient. With that reason and perception, one should see the Lord and render devotional service. So Prabhupada explains elaborately. We'll go to the next sloka. Okay, this is nice sloka. All of you, please unmute yourself. Tasmat sarvatmana rajan
Tasmat
Sarvatmana
Harihi sarvatra sarvada
Harihi
Sarvatra
Shrotavya kirtitavyascha Martavyo bhagavan nrinam
Sarvyo Bhagavan Ranam
Tasmat sarvatmana rajan Harihi sarvatra sarvada
Sarvatra Sarvada
Shrotavya kirtitavyascha Martavyo bhagavan nrinam.
Bhagavan Ranam
Please repeat. O King, it is therefore essential
It is therefore essential
that every human being
that every human being
hear about,
hear about,
glorify and remember the Supreme Lord,
glorify and remember the Supreme Lord,
the personality of Godhead,
the personality of Godhead,
always and everywhere.
always and everywhere.
Please mute yourself. The Shukadeva Goswami is telling to Parikshit, it is therefore very essential for the human being to hear about the Lord, glorify the Lord, remember the Lord. Smartavyaha kirtitavyascha. Smartavyo shrotavyaha kirtitavyaha. Because Harihi sarvatra sarvada. He is there always, everywhere. And such Hari tasmat, therefore, he is concluding. When we speak so many things at this end, we say, therefore, you should not do this. Therefore, you should do this. Like this now, Shukadeva Goswami is concluding. Tasmat, therefore, sarvatmana rajan, all the human beings, Harihi sarvatra sarvada, that Hari one who is there everywhere, they should do shrotavyaha, kirtitavyaha, smartavyaha, Bhagavan. So all the nrinam, they should do this. So this is the ultimate message. So if always you should remember Krishna, everywhere you should remember Krishna. So now, sometimes when I meet some devotees, they say, especially in our country, I tell them, you should chant Hare Krishna. They say, yes, Swamiji, I always chant. When I'm driving, I'm chanting. When I'm cooking, I'm chanting. When I'm walking, I'm chanting. I'll keep on chanting. I don't count like you, but I chant. So that's very great. He's always chanting Krishna's holy name. But to give up all the material attachments, to develop bhakti and attachment to Krishna's lotus feet, one has to specifically chant with all focus and attention. Soulful japa one has to do. One has to really focus and chant and hear Krishna's name with all attention. Chanting attentively is very important. If you don't chant attentively, that is considered to be one of the offenses to the holy name. Just like when Krishna comes or when some guest comes to your home, if you don't attend to him, how will the guest feel? And you're calling Krishna, Krishna, and you're not attentive, you're walking, you're driving, okay, you can do all that because it is approved by the Lord. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has told you can chant anywhere and everywhere, don't worry, you'll get some benefit. Instead of thinking and speaking something else, you can chant holy name. That's very good, that's ultimate. But to really for the heart transformation, one has to hear Krishna's holy name. Then you will see change in your life. On this Ekadashi, you should all take a very important step. I'm chanting 16 rounds of Hare Krishna. At least one round I will chant with all attention, the first round. Or at least 2 rounds I'll chant. At least 4 rounds I'll chant. Or at least all the 16 rounds I'll chant. I'll chant with all attention. I'll keep all my distractions aside. I'll simply hear the holy name of Krishna. That is very important. That chanting is, we make very fast progress. Because so important, you see in this verse, Shukdev Goswami is telling to the Parikshit who is going to die in next few days, next few hours. And what is he saying? Hear about the Lord, glorify the Lord, remember the Lord always and everywhere. So we should give so much importance for chanting the holy name and make progress in our life. So Prabhupada again gives this. Srila Prabhupada, Srila Shukadev Goswami begins this word, the word tasmad. Therefore, because in the previous verse he has already explained that there is no auspicious means of salvation other than the sublime process of Bhakti Yoga. Bhakti Yoga process is practiced by the devotees in different methods like hearing, chanting, remembering, serving the lotus feet, etc., etc. Now we are coming to the last verse of this chapter. Pibanti ye bhagavatatmanas satam katamrita shravana puteshu samritam puranti te vishaya vidoshitashayam vrajanti tacharana saroruhantikam. Those who drink through the oral reception, fully filled with the nectarian message of Krishna, the beloved of the devotees, purify the polluted aim of life known as material enjoyment, and thus go back to Godhead, to the lotus feet of Him, the personality of God. Now this is a conclusion of word of verse, the last verse of this chapter, okay? The very last verse of this chapter. He is coming to a conclusion. He is saying that if you want to give up material enjoyment, we all have goals. We all have ideas of life. We want to do so many things in our life. That is defined here as a polluted aim of life known as material enjoyment. In the material world, the material enjoyment, idea of material enjoyment pollutes us. To purify that, what we should do? Pibanti. Pibanti means drink. What should you drink? You should drink not through mouth some juice. You should drink Hari Katha Amrita. Katha Amrita. The Katha of Lord Hari is like nectar. The nectarian Katha of the Lord should be heard through the ears. Krishna's pastime should be heard. Krishna's philosophy to be heard. Krishna's glorification to be heard. Krishna's devotees' glorification, pure devotees' glorification to be heard. Song should be sung. This way, our ear should be drinking the nectarian message of Lord Krishna. And Krishna is very beloved of all the devotees. When you hear like this, by hearing and hearing about Krishna, it purifies our material enjoyment, idea of material enjoyment. So we can go back to home, back to God. You see earlier what it was told. You have to do meditation, go to higher planet, next planet, then take an aeroplane from the Brahmaloka, then penetrate through the different layers of the universe, then pass through all the universe and go to spiritual world. Now what is it told? You hear Krishna's pastime, you go back to home, back to Godhead. You see how the Shukadev Goswami is concluding this. That is why I said, sometimes we take it very, very granted what we have received Krishna consciousness as. Because we don't know other paths are how difficult it is to go through. I remember in our childhood, in the village, when we would go out to the town, we had to cross on river, a small river. Especially in the rainy season, you cannot cross that river, the heavy floods. Other season, somehow we have to cross. Small children cannot cross. The elders have to hold their hand and help them to cross. There is no other way to go to other side. You have to cross that river, then only you can go to town. Otherwise, we will be on the other side in the forest. So that river, I remember in our childhood, we crossed. As a small boy, we were not able to cross unless our father and mother helps us to cross. And sometimes when children come to school or go to school, there used to be a lot of risk. And after some years, when we grew up, the government built a bridge for that river. When the bridge was built for that river, people were celebrating. Oh, so great. It became so nice. Now in the rainy season, we can go. Any season, we can go. Children can go. Anybody can go. They're so happy by seeing the bridge has been built for that river. I very clearly remember this. Then the next generation came after us. They were born after the bridge was built. They don't know the difficulties. If the bridge was not there, how difficult it was to cross that river. For them, bridge, they have taken bridge granted. Bridge should be there. What is the big deal in bridge? Bridge must be there, is what they think. So same way, when something is offered very easily to us, we take it granted. Oh, chanting, I know. Oh, temple, I know. You know, Krishna's temple is right here. Krishna Balaram is worshipped in our temple. Every day with great attention, devotees worship the Lord and offer varieties of food to the Lord, decorate the Lord. Every day, wonderful decoration is done for Krishna Balaram. It is just a few meters, few kilometers away for some people. But there, hey, I know the temple, what is there to go to the temple. We take it granted like this. We don't understand the value. The Tulasi plant is there right in front of your home. Every day you can water that. Every day you can put at least little on Aarti, keep on Deepa in front of Tulsi plant. Now we take it granted. Oh, that is there. From my childhood, I am seeing that plant. You see, this is our nature. When something comes very easily, we don't understand the value of that. But when we hear these things, how difficult otherwise to get Krishna for klesha adhikatarastesham avyakta satta chetasam. So much klesha to get Krishna. When you understand that, then you should value what you are getting. Srila Prabhupada says one verse, this is an English saying. He says, familiarity breeds to contempt. Familiarity breeds to contempt. Means when you get familiar with something, which leads you to commit offenses. We take the things granted. That's called offenses. It could be one devotee. Some devotees whom you are associating with for Krishna consciousness, so many times you met them, so many times you traveled with them, so many times you are talking to them. Then you are taking it granted, and then you may commit offenses by commenting on a devotee, commenting on somebody's practices. Same way the chanting Hare Krishna. First time when the chanting Hare Krishna came to your life, you are the full of attention. And then later the time passed, you are chanting and chanting from many years now. Now I know. I keep chanting Hare Krishna and I do something else. I think something else. I watch something. I watch some video. That is called taking it granted. So the familiarity leads to contempt. So devotees should be cautioned at this point in time to know we have received the highest message of going back to Krishna. We have got a token to go back to Krishna. So we should value that, and every day by hearing Bhagavatam, by associating with the devotees, by reading Srila Prabhupada books, we have to keep that value for Krishna consciousness in our heart. And utmost attention you should do. Take bath in the morning, worship Tulasi, worship Krishna in your own way. There is no rules that you should do like temple. In your way, just to keep one achamana cup in your home. Take few spoons of water. Don't use your bathroom mug for watering tulasi. Keep a pure vessel to water tulasi every day. Then that you can do, anybody can do in India. All of our homes, tulasi is there. Morning when you get up, you should take bath, you should offer water to tulasi. If possible, you can sing a song or you can do arati. Then everybody's home in India, every house is designed with the altar, the puja room. Indian houses have puja room, Hindu houses. So you have puja, some Krishna's photo is there. Previous day when you come from the office or come from somewhere, get some flowers. Morning, if it is difficult, get some flowers and keep it with you. Next day, offer those flowers to Krishna. Keep one cup of water in front of Krishna. Very easy. Buy one nice cup for the Lord. Okay. Whatever you can afford. If you have a lot of money, you can buy gold. Gold is little risky. Somebody may take away. You can buy silver. You can buy copper or brass. You take a glass, fill the water, put on tulasi leaf, keep in front of Krishna. Next day morning when you get up, take that water, put it in your water bottle for you to have whole day Krishna's special barsadam water, and wash the glass, put the fresh water, put on tulasi and keep in front of Krishna. Like this, with the utmost attention and the respect, you have to worship the Lord. When you worship the Lord with your own capacity, Lord becomes very pleased. So don't take okay, I will do tomorrow, I'll do later. Don't do like that. Life is very short. We don't know how long we live. So chanting, doing little service at home, your altar, your tulsi plant, or hearing Krishna Katha. So like this, the devotee should be very attentive, should not waste the time, should not become familiar with Krishna consciousness. At least after hearing from Shukadeva Goswami today, that how great the yogis, after doing so much tapasya, when we are hearing last 2-3 classes, you must have thought, this and all I cannot do. Like this of meditation, going to different planets and then going and I don't know, I can't do, it's not for me. Array, you can achieve the same result. You can achieve the same benefit by doing just what Srila Prabhupada has told, by practicing Krishna consciousness. So this is the conclusion of this chapter, the greatness of devotional service. So with this, you have come to the end of this chapter discussion. Now we are going to the next chapter in the Bhagavatam. Next chapter's name is called the Pure Devotional Service. So that is called Pure Devotional Service. Now till now, the devotional service is not fully pure. We have now heard about other parts, Lord in the heart. Now the next is change of heart. Till now, Lord in the heart. Now change of heart. That is pure devotional service that we will hear in the next class. What is pure devotional service means? More detail we will hear in the next class. With this, I come to the end of today's discussion. Anybody has any question, you can ask.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Dandavat Pranam.
Yes. Yes, Hare Krishna.
Prabhu, just want to know one thing. When we visit temple and see the deities of Krishna, Balram, or we worship at home, so we feel connected for some time. And when we hear some Krishna Katha from Prabhus and anyone, so we feel connected. But why don't we feel the same kind of connection while we are chanting our rounds? That time we don't miss that sound vibration. We are not able, I am specifically not able to connect with. So where I am going wrong, if you can guide me, Prabhu, please.
Yeah. See, this is the reason of this called familiarity. If you remember, when you first time chanted Hare Krishna mantra in your life, somebody gave you bead, first time, that time you were very attentive in chanting, yes or no?
Yes, Prabhu.
Then
Yes.
later, when you chanted and you become very familiar, then you become inattentive in chanting. So when you come to temple and hear what happens, you're not very familiar. You see some gorgeous decoration. Maybe if you stay in the temple only, all 365 days and right in front of temple, if you are singing kirtan, you may become familiar with the deities also. If you stay with the devotees, you can become familiar with the devotees also. So when we become familiar, it happens. The solution for not to become familiar about chanting, or it could be Vigraha, or it could be a fellow devotee, and all these assets of Krishna consciousness, temple. If you don't want to become familiar, you have to keep the value of that in our heart. You have to keep on reminding. Material nature is to forget. Now, today we spoke about it. You will be very serious today, and tomorrow again you will forget. So, you have to keep reminding. We are very good at forgetting. That's the nature of the materialistic mind. It forgets the good things. Again you have to remind. Again you have to remind. Therefore, Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Nashta Prayesha Bhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya. Bhagavata not supposed to be once a week. Bhagavata should be every day. Every day you should hear. Every day you should be building value. If you want to, particularly to your question of chanting, you want to improve your chanting quality. Every day you must read about the holy name. You should talk about you should hear some content. Either previous day, prepare before going to bed, read something great about Krishna consciousness and chanting the holy name and go to bed and next day chant. Or you can also do one thing. There's one book called Namamrita. You can read that for 5 minutes before you start chanting. Set your mind before chanting and tell yourself, take a determined vow that recollect all that you heard in your Krishna consciousness from last few years before starting. Not while chanting, don't think. Before beginning your chanting, sit for 2 minutes and think, how great is Krishna's holy name? How great is Krishna consciousness? How Krishna is so merciful. You have to bring that memories to you. Then with that, when you chant, that will have emotion, that will have bhava, that will have attachment, then your chanting will be much better. Because you're seeing Krishna's holy name with some background to it. Suppose I come to your house with one more person with me. You receive me, Prabhuji, come and you give me. And at the end, after 1 hour of discussion, before leaving, I tell you, you know who is this? Actually, he's the Chief Minister of Karnataka. Then you know, Prabhuji, you should have told me when you came only. I didn't pay attention. So as soon as you know who is that person who came with me, if you knew, you would have acted differently. Isn't it? Same way, when you're chanting Krishna Nama in the morning tomorrow, if you already prepared your mind whom you are going to hear, what you're going to hear today, your mind is prepared for it, then your chanting will be very good. So chanting requires preparation of mind like that. And give up any other desires, attachments, hatred. That is why Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says, Amanena manadena kirtaniya sadaharihi. You want to chant the holy name of Lord nicely? Then you should give all respect to others. Don't expect any respect from others. You should be humbler than the blade of grass and tolerant than the tree. Trinadapi sunichena taroreva sahishtuna amanina manadena kirtaniya sadahari. One chant holy name of the Lord. Why that consciousness? Then you will not have any other thinking in your mind while chanting. Otherwise, you will grudge, you will be unhappy with somebody, you thinking about somebody. Your mind will be filled with so many things. Mind has to be satisfied and peaceful. Therefore, chanting will be more effective. You can chant in any way you can chant, you'll get benefited. Knowingly, unknowingly, you chant also get benefited. But you want full benefit, you want to progress fast, then as I said, that you should prepare for chanting and chant. Your next day morning chanting does not start when you get up in the morning. Previous day only. When you go to bed, in what consciousness you go to bed, thinking of what you go to bed, this all affects next day's sadhana. So devotee, therefore, it is said, there is a way, the devotee, how he should go to bed. The devotee, in the night time, should read about Krishna, take bath, read about Krishna, or or hear about Krishna, then at the end, before going to bed, pay obeisances to the Lord, offer from pranama mantras to Kuru and Krishna, and that consciousness one should lie down. When one gets up from the bed, again, we should offer prayers to Krishna and Guru and thanking them, then one should get up. So this way we have to bring our life to actually this is a very happy life, very nice life. Unfortunately, especially as mobile came, how people are sleeping now? Watching video, watching the reels, they sleep. When they get up, first thing they see mobile. Is there something messages came to me? So like this. So that's not the right consciousness. So this requires a background work. To get a better chanting, better consciousness requires little bit of background work. Little bit of adjustment in our schedule is needed. Then we can do better chanting. Is that
Prabhu,
okay?
thank you. Yeah, thank you, Prabhu. Thank you.
Okay, thank you all. So we will meet again in the next week. Thank you so much. Shri Krishna Balaram ki, Shri Srimata Gauranga ki, Shri Prabhupada ki. I have an important announcement. All of you, please update your chanting of holy names rounds in the website address given. Like last week also you are given ISKCON Mangalore /Harinama. Update your chanting rounds as offering to Krishna for Janmashtami. Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
Hare
Thank you, Prabhuji.
Hare